No food for you. No food for you.
SNAP benefits, food stamps, for the month of November, they may be wiped out. Many of you who received those benefits will not be getting them in November, or you'll get a fraction of what you get. Meanwhile, the poor people in this country, even the lower middle class, we've got nothing from them.
SNAP benefits will not be issued for the month of November. And in this video, I will explain to you what's happening with November SNAP benefits. Due to the government shutdown, many states are now sending out notifications stating that they do not have the funds to issue SNAP benefits for the month of November. The federal government has already informed all states that it will not fund November's benefits. And since the funding for SNAP comes from the federal government, the states literally have no money to pay out. Some states are outright saying that they will not issue November's benefits, and some states have not confirmed it yet. I'll just tell you, if you receive SNAP benefits, please be careful on how you spend October's benefits, because there will be no more SNAP issued until this shutdown ends.
The government shutdown had the National Guard pay stop, and also there would be no pay for ICE agents. Trump got funds from somewhere, and now the National Guard are being paid during the government shutdown, and ICE agents will be paid during the government shutdown.
That's right. President Trump has announced that come November 1st, which is only 2 weeks away, that there will be no SNAP benefits available to anybody that is on the SNAP program. Most of the people on SNAP are from red states. This is what you voted for. Remember that. He doesn't care that you have no food. There's no money for SNAP, and he doesn't care. But he just gave Argentina $40 billion in a bailout, but no food for you. That'll be no food for you. And as we progress into the holiday season, no food for you.
So due to the government shutdown, there will be no SNAP benefits dispersed for November of 2025. And I feel like y'all need to feel this, because y'all put those people in position to do this to y'all. Y'all voted for him. Y'all went out thinking that, oh, this man was going to give y'all something. Guess what? They cannot say it's the Democrats or the liberals, because guess what? The Republicans own every single part of the government. I'm talking about the Senate, the House, the presidency, and they own the Supreme Court. And it's always going to be about politics. Oh, the Democrats aren't doing this. No, y'all asked for this because y'all thought y'all was going to get a stimulus check and some free money. It's never going to be free. It's always going to be at the cost of the taxpayers' dollars.
So you see what he's doing? He's not giving anything to anyone in this country, really. He's not giving any aid to the poor in this country, but he's giving $20 billion to Argentina. Facts. Facts matter. Look it up. People with money, if they want, can leave, go live somewhere else until things simmer down here. Poor people cannot leave. Look at what they're doing to the country. They are trying to not only suppress, but really wipe out the poor. They're going to make it so you can't even have health insurance, and you'll get sick and die.
So the Trump administration is shutting off SNAP benefits in November. They're not going to pay them. What happens in November? Thanksgiving. Where are the poorest states and who are the poorest people that depend on SNAP? Red states and poor white people. Yes, he'll be cutting off food stamps, as many states still call them, to the poorest white Republicans in the middle of Thanksgiving. Most people have no other way to feed their children or get food in general without their SNAP benefits. So he's targeting his own now. So we'll see where the FAFO comes in here, but at the same time, I feel really bad for those families that won't be able to eat a meal for Thanksgiving. We'll have more later.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel Rose M React. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. In today's video, the news that Republicans have slashed funding for SNAP, EBT, and food stamps has sent shockwaves across America, and especially through communities that voted heavily for DT. This is not about politics anymore. It's about people who can't afford to eat. When SNAP and EBT funding get slashed, everyone feels it. Many MAGA supporters who once cheered for budget cuts and smaller government are now finding themselves in tears as those very cuts hit their own dinner tables. Let's get to the video, but before, let me play a few clips on the same and I'll be back with my own commentary. All credits goes to the original creators of each and every video you see here.
And they're going to say, oh, it's going to affect the brown and blacks. No, it affects the Caucasity, because guess who are on more government benefits than any other ethnicity? The Caucasity people are. And I feel like y'all need to feel that, because y'all went and did this. Because guess what? The rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poor. And it is what it is. But y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. I'm not upset, because guess what? It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect a lot of people that are around me. But it is going to affect kids who are hungry. They're talking about the food banks are open. People are going to be starving in the richest country in the world. And y'all talking about, oh, it's somebody else's fault. No, it's y'all fault, because y'all put them people in position.
They said it's over 40-some million people that would be affected by this. And this is all due to the government shutdown. They said this shit includes SNAP, WIC, all that. Anything that includes with food, that shit is going down. Now, I don't know if it's true, but they saying that if you got kids under 5, you still would get food stamps. Meanwhile, they saying there's insufficient funds. People finna go crazy. America is finna shut this bitch down. I feel bad because it's finna be so many families without. People already stressed over if they gonna get paid or not, especially dealing with federal shit. Like, people got bills and stuff to pay for, and that shit don't stop. Like, they don't stop our rent. They don't stop our lights. Like, that shit don't stop, and we literally gotta figure out and fend for it. That I know that's why it's always good to have emergency funds, but everybody's life ain't good enough for them to have that, if that makes sense. I think this law go into effective on November the 1st. I saw a few people saying that it's supposed to start at the end of October, but I'm not absolutely sure about that because I didn't read up on that part. But I think it's November the 1st. Y'all better be really prepared because it's some shit really finna happen.
The Trump administration has said that they may not have funding to issue SNAP benefits in November if this government shutdown continues. I do not share this to fearmonger. I share it to inform others and to prepare them, because if this happens, a lot of people are going to go hungry. And I'm talking elderly, children, the most vulnerable of our society. And that is not something that we can scroll past. So if you are dependent on SNAP benefits, I want you to start thinking ahead now. Look up local food banks and see what their distribution schedules are. I want you to reach out to local churches or community centers. Many have quiet food support programs. If you are in a position to help, please help. Donate to your local food pantry. Buy that extra frozen turkey at the store and put it in your freezer. When you make that big pot of chili, freeze an extra container for a neighbor who might need it. Buy a few extra cans of chicken broth and canned tomatoes or mac and cheese, non-perishables, when you can, and drop them off. This is not about panic. It is about people. The government may fail us. We clearly can't count on them, but we do not have to fail each other.
Across the social media, heartbreaking videos and servicing of people crying in grocery stores, parking lots, realizing their EBT cards no longer cover enough to feed their families. Some say they never thought that the cuts would actually affect them. They assumed such programs were only for quote-unquote other people. But now they are discovering that food insecurity doesn't care about politics. And for years, MAGA leaders have promised to quote-unquote cut government spending and end dependency. Many of their voters supported those talking points, believing that the deductions would target immigrants or people they considered quote-unquote lazy. But what is happening now shows a painful truth. Those cuts affect everyone. When food assistance programs are slashed, low and working class families, the same group that make up a larger part of DT's base, are often the first to suffer. This moment is exposing something deeper, how misinformation and blind loyalty can lead people to vote against their own survival. MAGA voters were told that government aid was a problem created by others, not something they relied on, but now that the cuts are real, they are realizing that programs like SNAP, EBT, and food stamps were lifelines, not luxuries. The irony could not be clearer. For years, DT and other Republican politicians used and welfare rhetoric to fire up their base. They painted food stamps as wasteful and portrayed people on assistance as lazy or underserving. But the reality is that millions of Americans, including veterans, single parents, and low-income workers, depend on those benefits just to eat. And now, those same people are realizing what happens when politicians prioritize ideology over compassion. Even conservative media outlets are struggling to spin this one. Fox News segments have tried to justify the cuts as necessary for the economy, but that explanation is not landing with struggling families. Grocery prices are still high, rent is still rising, and jobs in many parts of the country still don't pay enough to make ends meet. So when EBT balance drops or SNAP eligibility tightens, the pain is immediate and personal. Economists say that this could also lead to a ripple effect in local economies. When families can't afford groceries, small town stores lose business. Food banks are already overwhelmed, and some have reported double the usual demand in just weeks. In states like Texas and Florida, where many low-income DT voters live, the situation is becoming dire. Volunteers are calling it a crisis of compassion. On social media, people used to mock Democrats for supporting social safety nets and now asking for help. One viral post showed a man wearing a MAGA hat in tears saying, "I didn't think it would hit us like this." Comments flooded in, some sympathetic, others brutally honest, telling him, "You voted for this." And that's the largest lesson here. Political choices have real-world consequences. It's easy to chant slogans about cutting government spending when you think it only affects others. But when those cuts take food from your own table, it suddenly becomes real. In the end, this is not just about political revenge. It's about awareness. The hope is that more Americans will finally see that programs like SNAP and EBT are not charity. They are a support system for millions of families who are working hard but still struggling. Maybe now, those who once voted for dismantle these programs will understand why they matter. And for now, the tears of MAGA voters serve as a harsh reminder that empathy and awareness should come before political pride. Because when the grocery shelves are empty and the EBT card balance is still low, the only thing left to eat are the consequences of the vote itself. At the end of the day, no one wins when people can't afford to eat. Maybe this time the tears will turn into less. That compassion feels more than any slogan ever will. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.